Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to tonight's Malty Monday. We are going to be looking at American Bock, which may or may not be a true style, because the Bock style was created in Germany, and Americans just do what they can with certain styles that start at other places. So we'll see. I got a little bit of literature anyways on it. So but I want to welcome in my awesome panel tonight. We have Ron Dario, who is Louisiana Beer Reviews. We have Thrash Metal Homebrew and Barbecue.
Cheers.
Beer Man's right below him. We got Miscellaneous Magnets Chair.
Cheers, guys. I'm still here.
Cheers to his chair.
And
Sorry about that.
we do have Drunken One as well.
Hey,
I'm thinking Ron might be frozen. No, he moved. Okay.
being very still.
I want to say hello to the chat real quick.
Hello,
thank you,
BuMpY.
Smoky Ninja. Yep. Bock Party. Oh, he did freeze up. So we're gonna let Ron go first, anyways. However he comes back in. But an anonymous coward with I guess that's gonna be like Bock because a bunch of roosters. Beer Man, cheers to you too.
Cheers, thank you. Thanks, bud.
Simon Smith, hello, how are you doing? Had a chance at a friend's house to drink a Shiner last night, but they were low on it, so I stuck to Two Hearted. Hey, Two Hearted's good, so. Grew up in Texas, so I had my share of Shiner, yeah. Shiner's everywhere.
You got hit in the eye a lot.
Not the kind of Bock we are discussing. Well, it is. Actually, it is the type of Bock we're doing tonight. As I'm going to get into it right now, I'm going to read the BJCP based off of the Maibock, the Helles Bock from like the German standards, and then I'm going to read a little bit out of the Beer Bible about American Bocks. So let's go ahead and get into that right now. What can I find? Well, the overall impression. A relatively pale, strong, malty lager beer designed to walk a fine line between blandness and too much color. Hop character is generally more apparent than in other Bocks. These are for the Maybocks and the Helles Bocks, by the way, from Germany. Comments can be thought of as either a pale version of a traditional Bock or a Munich Helles brewed to Bock strength. While quite malty, this beer typically has less dark and rich malt flavor than a traditional Bock. May also be drier, hoppier, and more bitter than a traditional Bock. The hops compensate for the lower level of melanoidins. There is some dispute whether Helles Pale Bock and May, meaning May, Bock are synonyms. Most agree that they are identical, as is the consensus for Marsden and Oktoberfest. But some believe that Maibock is a fest type of beer, hitting the upper limits of hopping and color for the range, and fruitiness is due to Munich and other specialty malts, not yeast-derived esters developed during fermentation. History: a fairly recent development in comparison to the other members of the Bock family. The serving of Maibock is specifically associated with springtime and the month of May.
Hey, how about that?
All right. Now I can go into the traditional Bock and stuff like that, but I'm not going to. We will have somebody on here that does have a different Bock, but I think he got a little bit balked because he looked it up on, what was it, Beer Advocate or something like that. I do have to bring Ron back up real quick. We can do that. And we also have Robert, Bock Scout in the basement as well. So let me just read this real quick out of, it's actually called the Beer Bible. So in the United States, there remain a few examples of beers called Bock. From previous generations, Shiner, Tennessee, and Huber, they're a strange kind of hybrid beer, refugees from an early benighted time in American history, as beer got progressively weaker and less interesting. American Bock beers lost their strength. The ones that remain are no stronger than standard American lagers. Now, this book may have been written a few years back. I think that the American craft breweries are bringing back some Bock styles. Uh, so 4.4 to 5.5 is what it says for the ABV for the American Bocks, but that may not be true, as like with my own Bock beer. But Americans who associated color with strength nevertheless thought of these beers dark amber to dark brown as as strong. They could constitute their own style, except they have been fading from the scene for decades. They were brewed for drinkers of a different time and don't seem to have any natural place left in the beer landscape. That's what they say about the American Bock. So with all that said, we're going to go ahead and start off with Louisiana beer reviews. Oh, you actually left it as beer.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Reviews.
As soon as you had mentioned when you started the broadcast and you said, it may or may not, it just crashed. And I said, man, I may or may not get to do the hangout. All right. So I switched over to Google Chrome. What else? Are you here? I assume y'all can hear me. This is Michelob Amber Bock.
We can hear you.
Dark lager, so a dump. It says it's 5.1% alcohol. The ABV level on this beer has fluctuated over the years, but right now they've got it at 5.1. It says an American box style lager brewed with 3 unique malts, including roasted and caramel specialty malts. This was introduced in 1995. I've collected different bottles over the years. So it's 25th anniversary. There's some nice smoke on it. I was looking for Ziegenbach yesterday, but day before yesterday, but I didn't see it. That was one that's mainly sold in Texas, but I guess they pulled it from our market. So we got some nice bubble action. What's that color? Brown, copper. It's red with the light shining through it, but you can't see the light shining through it as I hold it up to the lamp. Let me see something real fast. I want to look on the website and see if they give me the full details real quickly. It says 19 IBUs. See, they used a while back it was 5.2%. Now it's 5.1. But that, like I said, fluctuates. Yeah, that's about it. I don't need to look all that. All right. So the aroma is kind of bland, but it's not bad. It's just kind of low profile, let's call it. The flavor. Cheers to you all, and thanks for letting me go first.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ron.
Cheers to
No
you,
blocking problem.
I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy to go first. It's just that I have early morning schedules on Tuesday, so
Yes, we have to keep you strong and healthy. So
yeah. The body's medium. The mouth feels pretty straightforward lager, like dry finish. The flavor is let's see. I assume y'all have had Michelob Amber Bock before.
I actually have not.
Yep.
I haven't had it.
But I'm sure after I listen to what you're about to say about it, I'll probably look for it.
I got a good price on it, So they had a lot of it around New Orleans. It's like $14.99 at Total Wine, and then I got a 6-pack for like $6.99, something like that, $7.25. Okay, it's kind of sweet, but it's not too sweet. You just pick up some light bready malts, like just like some. Is it brown bread? No, I think it's white bread with the brown bread crust. You know.
That's a good description of it.
I mean to say the white bread crust. You know, like if you just ate the crust without the middle part, and then there's a little caramel syrupiness in the taste, not the body. I mean a caramel syrup taste, but very, 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 very faint. What about bitterness? You notice I haven't remarked on bitterness. Well, there's a reason for that. Doesn't really have any. Maybe just a tiny touch. Yeah, there's a tiny touch of hot bitterness at the end. But these Bocks are usually like that. They're like very malty. If you're into super hop action, why are you buying Bocks? You know, why are you buying Helles Bocks, Dunkel Bocks, Doppelbocks, Helles Doppelbocks?
Just maybe do it.
There you go.
Jesse said, no Doppelbocks.
Actually, Lone Star made you do it.
Lone Star made me do it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad he made me do it because I'm enjoying it, you know. That's it. Crisp, clean, and refreshing. It's not anything like super intense craft beer. Deep. This is sort of like something you would drink with like the jambalaya I showed y'all, or say a ham sandwich with some chips, or a hamburger, or some tomato soup with maybe some ground meat in it, and maybe melt a little cheese in there with some diced onions, something like that. Sop it up with some bread and butter.
Sounds good.
Now I'm all hungry, Ron.
Yeah, with that beer too. That's great. Oh man, sounds good.
I think Bocks get thrown to the curb these days, and I understand that. You know, this is not 1995. This is not reindeer farts that's going to taste like Fruity Pebbles. You know, it's not the next big thing. It's a quarter of a century's big thing. You know, a quarter century ago. But I'm pleased with it. You want me to give you a score on it?
If you would like to.
No,
The floor is yours. I mean, if you have stuff to say about it, you talk about it.
Yeah, it's pleasant. I'm not going to go on and on. For a Bud Light drinker or a Michelob Ultra drinker, they're going to think, I think they would believe, wow, this taste is really mind-boggling. You know, I can't get over it. I don't like. There's a lady that lives 2 houses down, and she talks about how she loves Michelob Ultra, and I was like, ugh, that stuff has no. You know, she's like, it's good. And she says, it's such a wonderful beer. And she was going on and on. And I was thinking it very devious when I came home Saturday, I said, aha, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk down there and say, hey, you want to try something? And just watch her, see if she probably will refuse to drink it. But I'm going to say, here's the real Michelob, you know, and see what she does. But I'm sure she's going to talk about how harsh, and nasty, and heavy and bitter it is. It's none of those things, you know. But she might shock me. I don't believe she will. Anyway, that's it. I scored it's got a little sourness in it, not like you're thinking sour beer. No. I guess I give it about 90 out of 100 tonight. 9 out of 10. Now that might sound extraordinarily high, but that means there's 10% that's not there. So now I'm gonna watch this whole replay and I'm going to pinpoint the beers I've had, and I'll comment to that effect. You know, I always do
Well,
that.
I did get BuMpY's approval for the, because when I went to the store and I bought this beer, it said it was a Maybach / Helles Bock, but on the bottle negates the fact. It definitely says Helles Doppelbock, which, like I said, BuMpY got approved. I got it approved by BuMpY because actually I did go on Beer Advocate and it says that it's a Maybach, but when you read the description of the beer, it says that it's not. So it's one of those kind of tricky ones. But I did pick up something from your neck of the woods, Ron. The old Andy Gator.
I was about to say, man, if I'd have known he was bringing Andy Gator, I'd have bought Andy Gator. But Andy Gator can be kind of.
Damn, I want some Andy Gator.
I didn't realize it was a Bock.
Yeah, it's a Doppelbock. But when it first came on the market.
Uh-oh.
I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do this.
Oh, no.
You just made the list.
Oh, no.
They called it Andy Gator malt liquor in 1993 when it hit the market. Now, that's a true story. They got old pictures. Well, here's tomorrow. If anybody wants to see some embarrassing taste challenge, and it's going to be embarrassing because it'll be such a mismatch. But here's Buchanan's Deluxe. Costs you about $35 a bottle.
Wow.
And it's going to go up against this tragic kingdom, this tragedy, Grants.
Oh.
This thing cost me $21.99 for this big, huge bottle. And that was about $20 too much.
Oh.
Okay, but anyway, on with the show. And now, if you kick me off, I won't be angry.
I appreciate you for once again coming on to Malty Monday. Always appreciate your knowledge and your tongue for beer. So, and also, I kind of like it when you kind of say, "Hey, can I just do it real quick?" Because what happens is it does allow me to bring up other people that are in the basement. So it's not a bad thing. It's a win-win for.
Right,
makes it easier for me and.
Right, get in there, say your thing, and get out.
Yep.
That's not really a bad idea. Oh, one more thing. Looks like Fandango Friday and Super Inclusive Saturday are going bye-bye. For the most part, yes.
What is that?
But not Wildcard Wednesday. No.
What happened there? What happened there?
Nothing happened. There was no kind of trouble or drama or fights or anything. It's just that I was getting sick of it because, when you do it, you got to manage it. It's like running a switchboard.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, post my comment, and the comment. I mean, we get a lot of viewers, and then it's like, and then somebody will join and say, "Hey, is my audio okay? I hope my audio is okay." And I'm like, "No, it's not okay. Why are you using a 1999 cell phone?" And then so it just.
Too much. I hear you.
Yeah, sounds very stressful.
I told James P. Madonna, I said, it's really not fun. I mean, if I join somebody else's hangout, I can just hang out, but to run a switchboard 3 times a week, it's a drag, man.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate going on other people's lives.
So that's the reason. No, it was no kind of trouble from it. It was just me being sick of it. All right. But I mean, I do like hanging out with the people. If I didn't have to run the switchboard, I really wouldn't mind doing it. But thanks for letting me join, and I will comment tomorrow, on the playback.
Awesome. Appreciate you, Ron. Thank you very much. And I will I'll drop you down into the basement.
Bye, everybody.
Later, man.
Cheers, man.
See you around.
See you in 20 years. Love you.
Cheers, bro.
What happened?
He says that to everybody.
That's Alex's thing. He says, see you in 20 years.
We're gonna bring up Bock Scout here as well.
Hey.
We're
Not
gonna
that
move
guy.
on to Thrash Metal Homebrew and Barbecue next. I do want to mention that we do have Ronald Sutton in the basement. So once we get right around and when Box Scout does his tasting there, we'll bring up Ron Sutton to do his. And then if Nina or anybody else joins with a Bock, then they'll go in that order after Sutton. So let's go ahead and welcome
Chicken order.
welcome Thrash Metal Homebrew.
Cheers, everybody. Y'all know this one. All right, Shiner Bock. Who doesn't know it? Raise your hands, right? All right. So first, I want to say thank you, BuMpY, for having me tonight. It's awesome being on Malty Mondays as usual. Let's go and get this baby poured up.
You're welcome.
All over my keyboard.
You didn't
Good
need
thing you're not
that
a
bottle
cleaner.
cap up there. That's a twist lock. Look at the head on that. Go, Alex, go.
Nice
Get
pour.
there like a freaking professional.
All right. All right. So Shiner Box from Spetzel Brewing, Shiner, Texas. Its style is, I think, a Bock. The ABV is 4.4, like BuMpY was talking about before. 4.4 is pretty much on the low end of the Bock scale for ABVs. The hop profile on this is 13 IBUs. The beer color is caramel, brown, kind of a root beer chestnut color. And let's go ahead and put a lighter on it. And you can see it's, I had a beer earlier and it was much more effervescent. Going through.
Oh, there it is.
There you can see
There
it.
you
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
But
not now.
it calms down really fast, though. I went ahead and did some pre-notes to this, so I wasn't going, the whole time, you know. The beer clarity is brilliant. It's crystal clear. You can see in the bottom. I mean, it's just like clear. You can tell it's filtered big time.
Oh, yeah.
Beer's head is white, a little off-white. It dissipates pretty quick. After you let it set for a minute, it's going to go down really, really quick. And it's a little soap suddy. There are some tight bubbles in there, but most of it is more of a soap sud type head to it. Let's go in for smell. My notes from before. It's malty. You got that malty caramel, kind of a dark toast, a little bit, just a little bit. A little bit of the coffee roast, just a pinch of that, and you can smell kind of a toffee or a molasses or
Right.
in that maltiness profile that they're going for. Let's go ahead and go in for a taste. Cheers.
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 Cheers. Prost.
I'm Prost. It's got kind of a little bit of a nutty, a little bit of earthy, woodsy kind of taste a little bit with the malts the way it is. The closest type of beer that I can kind of put this towards is kind of a black lager. A black lager is very, very light this way as well. The hop profile is like almost non-existent. 13 IBUs. That's just enough to kind of give you a little twinge on the tongue, and that's it. The profile of the beer going down is just, it's very, very smooth. This is best drink. The best way to drink this is, yeah, 4.4 is getting to me. It's ice cold. I mean, this is one of those beers that you have where you're done mowing the lawn, you're out, doing stuff in the sun, and you're sweating. You come in, you put down a few of these. I mean, it's very sessionable. Let's see. I got lightly roasted tastes on here, caramel, a little bit of toffee, light to medium malty, more on the light side. Hops very light, like I said. The intensity is mild. The color's deceiving. It looks like it's going to rock your house when you drink it. It's like drinking an iced tea. It looks dark. You go to drink it, it just goes down. I mean, it's just such a smooth beer. Displays very mild on the palate. It fades to light malt finish. It's quenching and no lingering bitterness at all. The feel of it is smooth and thin. It doesn't stay in your mouth. It doesn't envelop for a long period of time. It just dissipates very, very quickly. The beer's carbonation level is spritzy, round, and fades to a delicate to almost non-existent. And then the beer's body is light and delicate. So, yeah, if you look at it, I noticed when you let the head go down, when you go to spin it around, there's enough malt in here that it really kind of pumps that head up a bit. So you do have a malt profile. It's just that it's so, the way they did it is just so light and very pleasing. Very good beer. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Well, cheers,
Cheers.
Sam. What a great
I
review.
don't think I can follow that.
Wow, I know, right? Very informative. Holy crap.
Super informative.
Wise guy.
I had to take all the adjectives from Beer Man before he came on.
Or he used every one of them.
Well, Bear Man's about to have a big Bock in his mouth, so
Oh no!
there you go.
I like Big Bock, and I cannot lie. This is cool. I got Rogues. They're out of Newport, Oregon, just south of me. It's a Maybach, however you say that. 6.8%, so it's going way up the ladder there. Absolutely. I mean, I just read it was 40 IBUs. I was trying to find the IBUs of this, so it's 40 IBUs. It's definitely American. American made. It's got to be. I mean, it's got that punctuality of an American, right? I guess. So that's how we are here, I guess. But yeah, got my little goblet glass here. It was actually made at the end of May, but you can get this year round. I'm gonna keep it there. I don't want to put my nose in it.
Come on, man.
It's pouring at a finger. Let's get my nose in there.
Oh yeah.
The caramel got some raisin and like a plummy raisin and a caramel. You get that sweet dark fruit. It's not overwhelming though. It's caramel and rich with that kind of I guess like a bready, even the crust like thing that Ron was saying. It's all mixed very well, though. It's very sweet smelling. Let's look at it. We got a little off-white head. The retention isn't super great. It went down pretty quick. It's got a medium fast-rising bubble. It's it's kind of a honey color, more of a deep, rich honey, or even a light amber, if you want to call it that. Lighter at the bottom of the goblet. And then it goes into a deeper, rich color, but. Very nice looking beer. Let's taste it. Cheers.
Cheers. And you have the first Bock that's considered an ale tonight as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, is this okay to have this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
American
it is
Bock
an ale.
ale.
Is it conditioned though? Is it conditioned as is it lagered in the conditioning? Is
I
it
have
put
no
up-
clue how they make it.
or hybrid like you were saying? Yeah.
We can ask Miscellaneous to send him another email.
Yeah,
All right. I wonder
I
if
like
it's
free
like
stuff,
a Polish,
huh?
you know? Yeah.
they're
Very
nice people,
good, though.
man.
Oh yeah, right. Exactly. You got a lot of nice stuff there. Chalky in the sides of on the finish is real dry and chalky on the sides of the tongue, and the back is real dry. But it's got a medium long finish. It's the carbonation is medium. It's real rich and caramely and kind of a brown like a white bread crust, exactly like Ron said. It is kind of like that. It does have that crusty quality to it, like a nutty, crusty caramel, and I don't know. It's nice. It's really good. It's real smooth, clean mouthfeel. It's very easy to drink. It's not too alcoholic. It doesn't have a booziness to it. It doesn't lift you or anything. It's hoppy in the back. It is a little bit resinous even to some degree. Not super resiny, but you can get a little hops in there, a little bitterness, if anything. Not aromatic or flavorful in hops, more of a bitter richness there with the hops. But a very good beer. Definitely, guys. Cheers. I like this.
Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you, Beer Man.
Cheers, Beer Man.
Thank you, BuMpy. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for for being here. Thank you all for being here. So you don't have to thank me for having you on. So
Thanks for thanking us.
Thank you for being here, because otherwise it would just be me doing live reviews of
allowing me to be on here. Let's say,
now we did lose Sutton out of the basement. Hopefully he comes back, and hopefully if he does come back, if I have somebody presented, he doesn't get, he doesn't get lost again. So we're gonna go to miscellaneous. All right, I think he's back. He's back. Cool. Stay put. So miscellaneous. You're gonna go next. You can explain. You already did kind of explain the whole debacle. Oh.
Yeah. There you go. BuMpY-ism of the night. All right, guys. So what I got here, it's a Helles Doppelbock. This is Andy Gator by Abita Brewing out of Louisiana. 8% alcohol, 25 IBUs. So I've had this beer before. I think I was doing something with Beer Man. I didn't like it. I don't know. It could have been a bad bottle of beer. I don't know. I always like to go back and try stuff that I didn't like. Give a second opinion. So, yep. Let's go ahead and pour this.
Didn't have any hiss to it.
I didn't have it next to the mic. Sorry about that.
No, that's all good.
All right.
That's a Bock?
It's a Helles Doppelbock. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when I went through and I was looking on the shelves, it said it was a Maybach and this and that, or it's a Helles Bock. And then I got down to the bottom of it, and they just call it that on the shelf, I guess. I don't know. Color is it's clear, man. Very light golden color beer, very effervescent, small bubbles shooting up from the bottom, small white head, tight knit. Man, this thing is really clear. Wasn't expecting that. I was kind of toasted last time I drank this, so let's go for the nose. Oh man, bready for sure. Malt forward on the more like what everybody's saying. I'm definitely getting some of the bread crust smells coming out of there. It's got a slight sweet smell, almost like a little caramel notes popping out of there. Head retention wasn't good. Gave it an aggressive pour. Who knows? Anyways, cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Cheers, brother.
All right. Very it's very light bodied. Easy to drink for the most part. Refreshing, light, crisp, for sure. There's definitely getting some hop notes in the back. Little like slight bitterness. I wouldn't call it overbearing by any means. Just the way it rolls over the palate, it's kind of different. You're getting that nice, crisp, clean. You're like, oh, this is good, and then you get that hoppy funk to it. You know, not too. It does. It has almost like a hay straw kind of taste to it. It's not bad. I'm definitely gonna have to drink some more and take some notes, but man, pretty good beer. Not bad for 8%er. It's not boozy at all by any means.
Wow.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
These ones could sneak up on you. That's for sure.
Right.
For the drinkability. So yeah, I'm gonna take some notes and drink some more of this, and we do score. Probably have some more info. So
Cool,
cheers.
Nice. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, you go out driving after a few of those, you probably hear the cops say, "Bock 'em, Dano."
No, no lack of jokes tonight.
You're all bucked up.
Well, happy belated Bock Day to Dio and
Happy birthday.
All right, here we are. All right, me again. Wow, me again. All right, what did I bring? I brought none other because I'm the Texas guy. You know, I gotta bring some vegan Bock. This vegan Bock. This is a 4.9%. Brewed here in Texas. It's called a Texas Amber. I looked up some notes on it. It says Ziegenbock is a German amber lager brewed by Anheuser-Busch. It's billed as for Texans by Texans and is distributed in Texas and nearby states. It is a German word for billy goat. If you didn't know that, I didn't know that before reading that. Ziegenbock is what is known as a billy goat. And then it's marketed as the Bock style beer, import / craft / specialty. My words are not working for me. And positioned as a Texas beer to compete with Shiner Bock. To compete with Shiner Bock. Ziegenbock is brewed at Anheuser-Busch's Houston Brewery, and like Shiner Bock and Amber Bock, does not conform to the BJCP style guidelines for Bock, either in terms of flavor, profile, or potency. So yeah, this really doesn't fit into anything. But here it is. It's the Amber Bock. I'll go ahead and crack it open and give it a pour, and we'll give it a look. I got my chicken there. I got my Spiegel glass, which is probably the wrong glassware entirely, but I'm going to use that one anyway. It is exceptionally clean, which is unlike me. But here we go. Cheers. Spiegel, very delicate. Got to watch out for those things, huh? All right, here we go. Pour hard, boys. Pour hard. Go home. All right, so here we go. How you like me now? So,
no, you and me, Alex time.
Got an awesome color to it, boys. I have a flashlight here somewhere. Yeah, you're getting about the same color I'm getting on that side. As you can see, it's really, really clear. It's quite iridescent, like Brian was showing with all the bubble. Oh, yeah, it's got plenty of bubbles. Try not to screw it up too badly. Anyway, yeah, the very red, amber. The color represents pretty good on the screen as it does here. It holds a nice little head. You see, I put it aggressively, but it's still got about a finger head. And most of the bubbles are very small. It's not as white as you can have it, maybe a little off white. But so here we go. I'm going to get a little sniff on it. Again, like what you would imagine, a lot of the multi-bready kind of notes to it there. Very roasty. It doesn't. It smells kind of sweet. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Head's going down, look just a little bit. Beautiful color, beautiful beer. I'm gonna give her a taste and see how she goes. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Okay, it wasn't intentional, but it's a little warmer than I'd like it to be. It's not quite hot, but not quite cold. It's probably actually the right temperature because you wouldn't want it too very cold. But then again, it probably wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I find it to be kind of light on the palate. You know, it's easy to consume. It's not overbearing or overwhelming by any means. It's definitely chuggable. It's just easy to drinker kind. It's a kind of a thin to medium body. The notes, maybe some caramel or caramel, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, bready. It doesn't linger very long. I was looking for the IBUs. I couldn't find them, and I couldn't find the SRM either. But yeah, it's so far it's a good beer. Yeah, I'll get back with you on the notes. There's probably way more notes to put with that, but anyway, it's going to be a lot like y'all's. I'm sure they're going to be quite the same, but quite different, maybe a little bit.
Looks like about an SRM of 9 to 11.
Yeah, it's pretty dark, isn't it? It's pretty dark, but it's a beautiful red. Things petering out on me. That's a beautiful red, though. It's got a really nice color to it. All right, I'll be back around with the score, guys. Thanks for having me, Jesse.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
Thank you for being here, Gio.
Pretty beer.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you.
Question is, where's Lone Star?
Yeah,
Blew my Bock.
This was his
Oh,
and then we got
All right.
now it's time to blow him up in the back end. Yeah.
I knew not everybody could find the Ziegenbock. That's what I didn't do. That's what I did.
Hey, Robert, are you in Kyle's room?
I'm in my spare bedroom because I've been working today. And this has kind of become my sort of office. So,
It kind of looks like that, doesn't it?
the Shiner Bock, of course, same thing Thrash has, 4.4%, goes good with pizza and crawfish boils.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, true that. True that. This seems like it would do also.
Well, we get to see what it's
Also, I'm a
what the difference is
horrible,
from glass
even
to
worse.
can.
Go ahead. What?
Pardon?
Say we're gonna see the difference from his was in a glass bottle, yours is in a can.
All
There
right.
won't be much of a difference. It's gonna.
Oh yeah.
This will be real easy. Ditto on what 60% of Thrash said, because I am not as good a beer person as Thrash.
Exactly. You're cheating. You're cheating. I could have done that.
We're drinking the same.
Yeah. All right.
But nose is bready. It's a little hoppy. It's got some of that caramel notes to it. I had his going down pretty quick. I just poured it a little too aggressively. I followed the Alex, the beer master's beer pouring.
Hey, he sets a standard, man. You got to follow it.
Oh yeah.
Where's that?
And it's still got a beautiful color. I mean, that's one thing I like about Shiner Box. And I hadn't had one until about, I don't know, maybe 8, 9, 10 years ago. And Jeremy down in Louisiana is the one who offered me one, and ever since then I do enjoy them. But it's usually always when I'm down there with him. Sometimes I buy them up here, but not very often. But yeah, it's really got a real malty note to the nose. It's got a nice maltiness, breadiness, bread crust. That's a great descriptor you guys are using. Definitely get that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A little bit of that caramel note. And it drinks and tastes so much better than it smells to me. It does. I mean, there is a little bit of a difference to my palate. The caramel in the slightly, maybe almost a toasted maltiness to it. Just a look. So don't think of like roasted malts like stouts or anything. There's like a little toastiness to it, almost a toasted bread crust. I mean, it's a little toasty. It's very malty, and I just don't have Thrash's verbal acuity to compete with that. So ditto on 80% of what Thrash said. But anyway, yeah, the caramel comes through real nice on this one, and it's more sweet in the palate than it is in the nose. It's a sweeter beer than you would think, actually. For me, it feels that way. But I like it. I always have. Shriner's good beer. There's a lot of people don't like it. And I've never understood that. But for price
Probably
wise,
too light for him. Yeah.
Yeah, price rises. Yes, it is. It is drinkable too. You can put a 6. Okay, I might have put a 12-pack away of these every once in a while. But you can put them away, and it's okay. It's been a while since I might have done that. But
hey, Whiskey, you're a great reviewer, dude. I want you to know that, dude. You review whiskey very well. I know you can review beer just the same. You're fucking amazing, dude. No, you're a cool dude.
Well, that's why I like branching over here, though. Is I learn a lot from you guys, and this has always been a learning process. I've never been shy about that. So
yeah, right on.
But anyway, that's really still effervescing too. Gotta like it.
Cheers,
that's all I got.
Was effervescent, so
awesome. Cheers.
Yeah.
So Whiskey said, Bock in the day, I used to pound 12 packs of these.
Here we go.
Any beer chucks you would have put up BuMpY-ism.
I always thought, what if Spock drank Bock?
Oh shit!
Right, maybe there wouldn't be something.
And Vulcan would still be here.
Yeah, go Bock to the future.
Pretty soon he wouldn't remember how to do this. He would be doing this like all the time. I don't get it. All right, so now I got to choose somebody to drop off here. I was going to take out Thrash because he seems to have the best review of the night according to everybody. But miscellaneous right now is not even there, so I'm going to go ahead and remove miscellaneous and bring up Sutton.
let me guess. This is the Bock version of hams. Cheers.
That looks like a box.
That doesn't look like hams.
That looks good, Ron.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, man. What you got there?
Nice haircut too, by the way.
Yeah. Looking good.
Yep,
Good.
Michelob.
Oh, the Michelob Amber Bock. All right. See, I haven't even seen those things. That's what Ron had.
I don't get any other box in my area but this.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only American Bock I can get.
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of limited.
You know, so if you're rating it, if there's only one beer to rate it out of, you know, it's got to be sky high. You know, how are you going to rate it in its class if it's the only one?
Well, there's more around here, but I haven't seen that personally. Yeah, we get Shiner and the Ziegenbach. I'm here in Texas, but yeah, it's kind of a weird one. This American Bock, you know, it just doesn't make sense, does it? It doesn't fit into those guidelines.
Yeah, and this doesn't really fit into the guidelines because it's supposed to be a higher ABV. You know, it's only 5.1. Well, they're supposed to be, Bocks are supposed to be 6 to 7% alcohol. You know, they're supposed to have a hoppier taste. It's a great beer. You know, Thrash talked about the drinkability of it. It's really up there. I mean, I'm into like my 8th one. You know, I wanted to give it a good review. I bought a 12-pack of it. I'm going to suck the whole damn 12-pack down. It's a really sessionable beer. It's very good. I don't think it is what it wants to be, but if you're going to rate it in the class that it is, it's a high quality product. And I picked up, Jay said there had like a sour note on this. And, you know, I took me about 3 or 4 to figure out what it was. I thought it was maybe the hops because they have their own hop fields. You know, Anheuser-Busch has their own hop fields and they have different strains and varieties. But it's whatever yeast they're using gives it that sourdough bread. You guys talk about white bread crust and brown bread crust. It's that yeast that brings that up. I mean, you know, think about what makes bread is the yeast. But I'm done. I'll give my score later. But that's what it is. It's a very enjoyable product. Really is.
Wow.
Yeah, you can pound them down. The only side effect on those is bathroom breaks.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Sutton said
Take
he
a
was
leak. You gotta take a
done.
leak. Yeah. You gotta go shake it. Go shake it, buddy. Yeah. Go shake it out.
Cheers, Ron.
My mind is totally balked right now.
Cheers to you.
Yeah. I thought I had
It's
time
a
to
very
finish this. To grab my...
enjoyable product. And Trash, you gave a very eloquent review on that brew that you are enjoying.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
It's because I prepped this time.
Oh, dude.
Back
You were
in,
in
he can
front
tell
of
you
the
everything.
mirror, brother. You were in front of the mirror.
Something.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. The teleprompter.
Simon
You
Smith
had
wants to know what the ABV is, Ron.
What? The 5.1. It's 5.1. It's 5.1 ABV, 19 IBUs. You know, there's controversy. Everything I read about this beer says it's an all malt beverage. Well, Jay says it's not. He says he got on, I forget what it is, the Tap in You or whatever. I can't find that thing. And they say they use adjuncts. Everything I read about this beer says it's all malt.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I don't know if anybody has heard elsewise or not. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't get that twang, you know, from the adjuncts for like with an adjunct lager. You don't get that in this.
You don't get that. It's smooth. It's enjoyable. There's nothing offensive about this beverage. But like I say, I get that sour. After a few of them, you start getting that sour note. You know, it builds up. And I have to believe it's from the yeast. You know,
Could be.
it's the maybe they're using the same yeast as Budweiser, because Budweiser gives you that similar profile. You know, Budweiser is a great beer. If they just up the malt characteristics in it, it would be a great beer. Whew. Like a Michelob, like a regular Michelob, like a true Michelob.
Michelob's good. Budweiser is not.
Yeah,
All right.
it is.
Well, we will get back
But anyhow,
around.
continue on.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead
All
and
right,
show
thanks for
mine. We have
having me on,
nobody.
Bumpy.
Well,
Hey,
I mean, we have
appreciate it.
miscellaneous in the basement right now, but we'll bring him back up. We'll go through the scoring right after these balking messages. I have
What you're working on tonight. You're working on tonight. Aren't you?
from this is from Schilling Beer Company out of Littleton, New Hampshire. They are I believe a German family. This is a family-owned brewery. I have their Ziegenmisch. I probably butchered that one, but it's a Maybach. Comes in at 6.5% ABV. It's got the goat. I enjoy
Ziegenmisch.
that. Nice. Ziegenmisch.
Ziegenmisch. Or
I think I heard that in a Rammstein song one time.
The family show, boys. Careful now.
I think it's Ziegenmisch.
The best quote actually came from an Austrian, though. It was, ought to be Bock.
Don't laugh. I mean, don't laugh, Dio. Not supposed to laugh.
By the Bock of the Bay.
So I know that Ninja likes it when I do the perfect pours all the time. So there you go. Nice, small, tight, white bubbled head. I mean, you're getting like Siamese twin BuMpy right now. Things are very clear, crystal clear. Good carbonation coming up through. It's
Good looking beer.
Much like the Andigator there that Miscellaneous did. So
Yeah, it's a light.
this is it's a light Maybach or a Helles Bock, however you want to say it. But the aromas. I noticed like a slight, there's like a slight citrus zest coming up a little bit with like the hops that were used in it. Almost kind of on the lemon side. There is a little bit of a malty, bready, more on the bread crust. It is kind of like, it's not going into like the brown bread smells, but it is like more of the outer edges of like a white bread. So it would be more the crusty bread notes coming through. Smells of a little bit of a sweetness. Very, very light. I mean, the first thing I did notice was that kind of like hoppy, lemony, citrusy type note, but it's very, very subdued. It is mostly malt that comes up and is more noticeable after that initial hop shock. But first swig, so cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, BuMpy. Thanks for having us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks, BuMpy.
Yeah, follows suit with kind of the flavors. It's I mean the aromas. It's except for the citrusiness. There's no citrusy flavors in this, but it is that kind of bread crust flavor coming through with the malts. There is a little bit of kind of earthy to herbal type actual spice notes coming from the hops. Very low bitterness. There's no noticeable, like it doesn't make you pucker, but it's there. It's balanced.
Don't knock it.
What it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's what it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to have kind of a medium body to this one. I'd say about a medium carbonation level. There is a little bit of a, like I said, it kind of has that balance, but there is that kind of sticky sweetness that's left on my lips from this one.
That's what Aaron Bakovich said.
Yeah, I mean it's an easy drinker. It's
What a debacle.
It's definitely sweeter than like if you get like an American like lager of any sort. I think it's even sweeter than like if you got like a Vienna lager. Like if you think of like Sam Adams Boston lager or something like that. That's got some bready notes and stuff to it as well. It's nice and crisp and refreshing. This one definitely has a bit more sweetness, even though it's a lighter color than that. It is a higher ABV though, so
Dio,
yeah.
you're Bocking killing me.
But that's my Bocking tasting on this, and I'll come back with a score. Right now, what I'm going to do, Ron, I'm going to drop you out so I can bring back miscellaneous. We're all going to go through our scores, talk about anything going on when you do your scoring, talk about anything that you're doing on your channel, whatever you want to talk about happening in your life that's exciting. And after that, we'll finish it up. But Ron, stay put because you have to give your score, so don't leave. You're not gone from the show. I just got to bring up the rotation.
Makes a good film filter.
Gotcha. I'm all right. Go ahead, drop me.
It's not going to Bock and forget about you.
So, starting with Thrash. I'm going to bring you up big. You can give your score. You can, like I said, shout out anything out that you want. As long as it's appropriate.
Bocking kidding me. The Bocking notes are awesome. Yeah, check this out, how it just comes back. It's really nice. Cool. I want to say thanks to BuMpY for having me tonight and having us all tonight. Thank you very much. Shiner, I've had Shiner many times. The reason why I get it so much is because you'll like it. You know, it's a good beer. If you haven't had it, see if you can get it. I know it's all around. I'm in Denver. It's out of Texas. So I'm going to go ahead and give this thing probably 92 out of 100.
Nice.
90, it's in the A range. It's definitely in the A range. As for my channel, I have some more barbecue stuff going to be coming up. I have some homebrew stuff that's happening, and also some retro stuff. I always have the horse stuff. So if you're into any of that, just look me up, man.
Oh shit!
Down below.
Oh yeah.
Down below.
Ziggy.
Let me do this. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
There you
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers. Thank you very much, Thrash. And we'll move it right on over to Beer Man.
Hey, again, thanks, BuMpY. I appreciate it, man. This has been fun. It's good. This Rogue beer is pretty good. As it warmed up, I was getting some cherry and soda-like flavors, like a Coke flavor or something like that, you know. Still no booziness, which is cool. 6.8. You're not gonna expect that though too much anyway. I guess I don't know. I didn't get that too much, so that's good. Hit it pretty well. Hoppy on the lighter side. Hoppy and on the lighter side is. I'm just reading my notes. I gave this a 94 out of 100. I thought it was I've always liked this beer, Dead Guy Ale. It's a real good beer. I didn't know it was a Maybach until maybe a few months back. So it's real interesting. It actually says it on the can. It's a Maybach style. But as far as what I got going, usually I hang out here. I hang out Friday with Alex, and then I also have Tuesday, beer and cheese at 5 o'clock, same time. And then I do like a recipe review where eventually it'll turn into an early morning brew day. So I'm trying to figure that all out. But if you want to catch me there, I'll do a review of the recipe I'm brewing, and then I hop onto beer chugs, and yeah. So I mean that's pretty much my lineup. I try to keep it simple. I like to throw out some videos here and there as well, some edited ones. That's that. So just to kind of keep up with YouTube. But cheers, y'all. Right on.
Cheers, beer man.
Cheers, too. Cheers, you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep on rocking it.
Blake's channel's cool too. I like going to Blake as well. Blake TV. Oh yeah.
Cheers,
awesome. Yeah, and check out Beer Man tomorrow night, especially beer and cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it.
It is bring whatever cheese you want, right, Beer Man?
Yes, it's open. Only one time a month we're gonna do a planned cheese. So
okay, cool. Because I have an interesting cheese.
More Swiss?
No Swiss, if you want.
Yeah.
Whatever cheese it is, he's always
don't
cutting.
hurt yourself, damn it.
Yeah.
I will never Swiss Bock to that.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right.
Oh, the next one up to give a score, a shout out, whatever's going on in Florida.
Duh.
All right. So literally after I let this beer sit for about 2 minutes, everything I said to you guys earlier, all that shit went out the window. I don't know. This beer, it's very different, and I am gonna steal it from Dio. It is quite a debacle. So took some notes. It did after it sat out for a bit. It did give me some slight like farmhouse notes on the nose, almost like a barley wine like smell to it. It was quite different. The bread, like I said, the bread notes totally faded out, gone completely. Does have a quick dry finish, it is a semi sweet malt flavor, straw like taste, and on the nose as well. It's confusing on the palate and in the nose. I don't know about this beer. This is why I was on the fence about it last time, but I gave it a 90. I think you guys might be getting some of this in a beer mail, so I can get a second opinion on it.
And you can get rid of what you have.
No, I only bought one. I only bought one bottle because, like I said, I was on the fence last time I drank it. So, but I'll give it a 90. I mean, it's not bad. Definitely a bit confusing compared to what everybody else is bringing to the table. It's definitely unique. So,
Nice.
Cool. Cheers, man.
Awesome.
Cheers. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to the Dio.
Oh, the Dio. Okay. Yeah, I've been taking some notes, and I didn't put pros on one side and cons on the other, so I'm just going to call them out like I wrote them, I guess. First of all, I've taken off my knickerbockers to be able to do this. Wink, wink. 14 letters, I might add. Where's Great and Scrabble? All right, so just to remind everybody, I have one that's here from Texas only. I think there's in surrounding states also. It's the BuMpy is a 4.9% amber Bockish thing that seems to fit the bill for what we're doing right now. I'd like to start out with, I'd like to also say, where the hell is OnStar? Because this was his idea to begin with. Okay, so what I found is it's got year-round availability. I think it's kind of a spin-off, as Alex would say, into taking some load from Shiner Bock, because that's probably the best beer we have as a American Bock beer here in Texas. But so I think they're kind of, they're trying to ride on the coattails or however, be like that. It is well balanced. It's easy drinking, and I wrote those things down. It's got nice lacing. It was anyway. It keeps a bit of lacing to it. There's no real alcohol lace because it's less than 5%, right? But it is a little flat. When it comes to it, didn't really keep its bubbles so well. I find it to be very thin on the mouthfeel. It's kind of mediocre. It's not awesome. It won't weigh you down. It's something that you can drink a few of and be all right with. You could fill your refrigerator full of these things. Nobody's going to complain about it. It's not a terrible beer. It's just not awesome. I wrote it also. I think it would be a good transition into craft. So if you're trying to get your buddy to maybe try some craft beer, something a little darker, something a little more, you got to start with reds before you go brown, right? Red lives matter. So I think that it would fit well in a refrigerator, and it's not. Thank you.
Oh my god! Slip that in there, huh?
Yeah, see what I did there?
Oh,
So, Dio, would that go with bok choy?
It would go with bok choy. It would go with bok
will that
choy.
go with Chinese food?
Good job, guys. No, all in all, I don't feel like it's a bad beer. It's not exceptional or awesome. They gave it a 68, which is a poor rating on Brewers Advocate or whatever they call it, BA, right? I'm gonna give it a 70. I wrote 72, but I'm gonna give it a 73. It's not awesome. It's not terrible. If you haven't tried one, get a hold of one. What I can say is if you're at Applebee's, like one of those kind of things, Applebee's or Chili's, you can generally find these on draft for like $1 a beer. It's not bad. I mean, it's ABV is beer. It's right at 5%. It's not terrible. It's not offensive. It goes down easy. It's light. It's a little thin. But I think they're trying to be more like they're trying to be shinier, but they just can't pull it off. So all in all, I give it a 73. It's not terrible. If you can find it, try it. But it's not awesome. It's just, there's better beers out there. But it's worth $1 a beer at Applebee's or Chili's or wherever.
Well, yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Nice, dude.
Now I'm on to this one. Woo! Let's get some beer.
Time to party.
Well, I want to say thank you for being here, D1, and hopefully we have another 53 years of D1.
Thank you, guys. And what I do on my channel? Absolutely nothing. When I get off my fat ass, sometimes I put out a video, but I've got some old videos and go by and look at my channel. I really need to get out there and make some more videos. But all the love, and you can usually find me in these chats somewhere. Anyway, love to you all. Y'all have a great night.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh man, with that, what happened?
Don't
We
balk
get a
the
Bock
mic.
now.
Well, in the famous words of Johann Sebastian Bach, actually, I don't even know any words from Johann Sebastian Bach, so we'll just forget about that. I'm going to give it a 90. I really like it. It's a good beer. It's a very drinkable beer. It's very consumable. Like I said, it goes good with pizza, and it goes good at crawfish boils. I know this personally.
Perfect.
So, anyway, what's going on with my channel? I'm not sure either, so we'll know when I put something out.
That's all I got. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Right?
Yeah, great whiskey reviewer here, man. Seriously.
Yeah, check him out.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Whiskey stout.
Yes.
I know more about that than I do this. But I know what I like, and I like this.
That's right. That's right.
Very good. Very good.
That's right. Cheers.
So, Whiskey, if you don't mind, I'm going to throw you down in the basement to bring up Sutton.
You don't have to throw
Yeah.
him down
Put
there.
your helmet on.
Well, I'm going to throw you down there.
Nice.
But I mean,
Ever so gently.
hang out if you like. We'll try to do some after
You might
party
get a
stuff.
balking headache after BuMpY throws you
We'll
down
see.
there.
We'll see what we can do.
After we balking, go pee.
Let's see. I'm not doing it.
I
Yet.
was waiting for
I'm not this guy.
Yes. So, Ron, it's your turn to give us your score and any shout outs of anything you would like.
He's too close.
No, I'm too close. I'm sorry.
No, not
Let
you.
me back there.
No,
Oh no, you're on your porch and like beauty. That's a beautiful porch.
Well, it's gorgeous
Oh, yeah.
out here. It's like 70,
Peaceful.
about 74 degrees right now. It's gorgeous.
Nice.
But no, this Amber Bock, I've had it plenty of times. It's an excellent product. I just it might be just a little light on the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to say watery. It's not watery. You still get the malt taste. It's just a little light on the mouthfeel. But I think if they would bump that up to maybe like 5.7, 5.8%, and a tad more roasted malt, they'd have an excellent product. Yeah, it lacks in flavor. It is what it is. You know, it's a great beer. You can suck down a ton of them. Believe me, I'm on my 9th one. I think. Yeah, you can suck down plenty of them, and they're very enjoyable. And I'm gonna give it a 90. I'll give it a 90.
Cool.
Yeah, 90.
Nice. That's the same score that Theriot gave it. So
Pretty average A- score.
Theriot, Ron
Yeah,
Theriot.
Ron Ontario. Yeah, the same thing you had.
Theriot at first. I'm sorry.
It's a solid 90. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's a little expensive. You know, I paid $14.99 for a 12-pack when I can get a 30-pack of hams for the same price. You know,
There's my hams. The hams made it. The hams
no
made it
ham,
to the
but it's
stream.
okay, right?
you tell me what I'm
One
gonna buy,
tastes
buddy.
like lined paper and one tastes like cardboard.
I don't know, man. Hams, I'll drink hams. I'll put hams up against anything.
He has hams
I'll
and
bite
eggs.
the can. I'll bite the can. I'll bite the can with
Like
the
that
ham.
Oh, buddy.
I smoked some pork butt this Friday. That's close,
Wait a minute.
close
I
enough to
got
hams
a
for
wait a
me.
minute. I got a hams can. Hams can.
Savage.
Donna, we got another.
Make sure your sodium level is okay. Ham's got a lot of sodium in it.
Man.
Do they?
The first beer of the day is going to be a hams. But anyhow, good evening, fellas.
Yeah, thank you, Ron.
Keep the chat going. All right, man. Good evening.
You take care.
Thank you, Ron.
Cheers.
All right.
So, Sterling Beer Company and their Zygaming.
Zygaming. It's a German Tokyo word.
Yeah, Tokyo. Tokyo Drift. You catch my Bock?
You got my back on this one?
Don't stop me in the Bock.
So where I have to score this one is I have to think about actually having an authentic German Maybach, but I cannot think of the name of the beer. But it was from Germany. It was like Eichen Maybach, something like that. It was not an ice Bock. But I think that was it was a little bit. It was similar, but a bit different. The one from Germany, I think, had a little bit lower ABV, just slightly, and it just seemed a little bit more drier and more crisp than this one. This one just comes off a little bit like sweeter, but it does have similar flavor characteristics as that one. I enjoyed the German one a little bit more. It was easier to drink, something that you could actually drink on a hot day. This one, I think, with that kind of medium mouthfeel and kind of the stickiness and sweetness I'm getting out of it, think of it and like you start warming up in May. I mean, May can still be kind of chilly and stuff, but this one, I think I'm going to give a 92 out of 100.
Okay.
Which would still put it in a good category.
Oh yeah.
So,
Good score.
like top end good. It's almost going into that very good category range. But yeah, 92 out of 100. Not too bad. That's all I have to say about it.
All right.
I'm going to bring back the rest of the panel, and I have a question to ask. Now, Whiskey, you're in the basement. So when I say this, if you can just raise up a hand, just like go me, yeah, me. All right, guys. Next Monday, is it anybody's birthday?
My birthday's the 19th.
Yesterday.
No, it has to land right on a Malty Monday. Nobody's birthday is right on a Malty Monday next Monday.
Negative.
Okay, so we will be going back to doing a poll. Yours was Mondays ago.
Right.
I know.
But I do want to thank Lone Star, who's not here at the moment for
Let
choosing
the Bock
this style for
sell
tonight.
out.
Yeah, I know, right?
What
Right,
a Bock
right.
loser.
So we will try to come up with a poll. So it's going to go back to the original thing of Multi Mondays are on Monday. Starting time is 8 p.m. Eastern. Anybody's welcome to join as long as they bring the style. What else am I missing here? Lots of stuff.
If
Sure.
you don't have that, if you have the style and you don't want to cam up, then you can hang out in the chat and bring along with us. Come on, BuMpy, this is your show. How do you get these things?
I'm so blocked up. Yeah, bring it along in the chat if you want to drink along. I will leave a stream hook up in the chat if you're not associated with any of the hangout groups where I leave the StreamYard hangout thingy, whatever, to join the panel.
Now you're
but yeah, you're always more than welcome to join along in the chat. Drink hopefully the same style beer. Listen to what we're talking about with the BJCP or whatever else I could find on a certain style that we're going to be doing the tastings on, and also listen to what the panels are saying about what they brought and how it makes them feel and all that other stuff.
It didn't take but a second, and I got you back on track.
That's right. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to end up doing an off-air poll creation. So we're going to come up with 4 different styles. The poll will be back for this week. So there will be a poll that will be listed within the various Hangouts. If you're not part of the Hangouts, it will be posted in the comment section. Not the comment section. The
Description.
Yeah, the description. Thank you. Of this video. I needed you guys.
What was the ABV of yours?
Thank you all for blocking me up. I've had a few of them. 6.5.
He had a mental block. He had a mental block.
A mental
all
block.
blocked up.
A mental block.
Oh man, I could have
Just don't go
created
driving and start to Bock your car up.
Don't get a
At
Bock.
least I have a Bock up camera. But
what's that? Beer man.
yeah, look for the poll anyways. The poll will be put up. The poll will be put up tonight. The poll will be coming down at 8:30 Wednesday Eastern time, which is pretty much when Wildcard Wednesday ends. It usually ends right around 8:30. So that's when the poll will no longer be available to vote on. Whatever style at that point is winning is the next style that we're going to do. I will do a short video, post that night as to what style to bring for the next Multi Monday. Say what, Ron?
What's up for the vote?
We don't know yet. We're going to create
Beers are
that.
up for the vote.
You have to chat.
We're going to create a
You gotta wait and hang out. Yeah.
Chime in on the
a
end.
four style poll. And hope to see you all there. I want to say thank you very much to the chat for showing up. Any non-chatters that we're still viewing, thank you for being here. Because obviously, the more people that are viewing this, the more that the algorithms. I actually said that.
Thanks everyone.
Are going to put my stuff out in support. Support.
Now, we're running a little late. Now BuMpy is not going to have time to shave his Bock.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Back when I was single, I wasn't single, but before you marry them, they like to keep it trimmed. And my wife would, before she was my wife, she would shave my Bock for me.
Is that curl or just
going downhill right now? We're going downhill, Wes.
But anyways, thanks everybody for being here. Thank you to the panel.
Cheers, everybody,
for being here.
Good chat, y'all. Right.
We're gonna go off here now and enjoy the rest of the Bock night. Appreciate
y'all, Bock,
every Bock and one of you.
Go Bock!
It's time for me to just shut the Bock up.